everyone, I am back with your astrology report for the week of July 24th to July 30th. So I apologize there wasn't one last week. I was doing stuff and out of town, so I didn't have time to kind of sit down and look at charts, but I am back with the charts for this week. So as always, I start with sort of what's going on with the moon, because the moon moves the fastest. It changes signs every about 2.5 days. It rules our moods, so it is definitely an important one. So we start off the week on Sunday. We had a new moon, the first new moon in the sign of Leo. We have a second one on August 21st, so that's kind of unusual that there's two new moons in Leo this year, and that one's going to be a big one. That one is the eclipse. I made an error, not this one. That one's going to be the eclipse. It's going to be a total solar eclipse for a large part of the US. We're not going to see it here where I am in Canada, but that's okay. But it is going to be a big, powerful new moon. So this one's powerful too, because we have the moon and the sun obviously are in Leo, because that's what makes a new moon when they're conjunct. When they're on the same, they make the same aspect in the sky. That's what a conjunction is. But Mars is also in Leo, so we've got a lot of Leo energy. So if there's something you're looking to put a lot of energy towards, a lot of creative energy towards, if you have a creative goal, this is a great new moon to set intentions for that. So keep that in mind. So we start off the week with the moon in Leo on Monday. And I've got, again, my Radiant Sun cards to help explain. So the moon in Leo is about appreciation. Obviously, we've got the Lute here. It's all about creativity. It's about abundance. So it's really about wishing big. So we've got two new moons in Leo, one in August, one yesterday. So we can wish for some pretty big things right now. The moon then it stays in Leo all Monday. On Tuesday, and this is all in Central Time, so adjust for your time zone. It has a void, and a void is where the moon's not making any more aspects in that sign. So it has a void at 4:22 a.m. and then it changes to Virgo at 7:32 a.m. So if you're up early in the morning, don't do anything new, don't make any big changes. Moon moves into Virgo at 7:32 a.m. on Tuesday, and moon in Virgo is all about order. It's about organizing things. It's about getting things done. It's attending to details. And the moon stays in Virgo for the rest of Tuesday, all of Wednesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, good days for getting stuff done, for getting organized, for taking care of day-to-day tasks. At 1:31 a.m., the moon goes void on Thursday and then moves into Libra at 10:37 a.m. And Libra, moon in Libra, is about companionship. So moon in Libra, whereas Virgo's like getting the nitty-gritty day-to-day stuff done, Libra wants to relate to people, it wants to find balance, it wants to find harmony, so that's when it's good to kind of socialize. So moon is in Leo Thursday and Friday, and then for most of Saturday. So towards the weekend, really good time to get together with people, especially for like one-on-one kind of things. Also good time if you're decorating or doing anything sort of artistic. Libra also really loves those as well. Then we have a void moon at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday, and the moon moves into Scorpio at 7:23 a.m. So moon in Scorpio, where's moon in Scorpio? That is Sagittarius. Where's our moon? Come on, moon in Scorpio. Da, 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 da. I know I've gotten the cards. I think the cards got a little mixed up. Okay, that's moon. Where is my moon in Scorpio? Aha, here it is. Okay. Power. There we go. Moon in Scorpio. Moon in Scorpio is very intense. It is a really good time for divination. It's a good time for sex. It's a good time for anything that involves studying the occult, or anything where you have to kind of make a power play. This is what a Scorpio moon is good for. So moon moves in Scorpio 7:23 p.m. on Saturday, and then stays in Scorpio all of Sunday. So it's, you know, it's a good weekend if you're looking to get some, but it's also a good weekend if you're just looking to kind of practice some of your magical practices or do some divination. So it's a good magical weekend. So pretty good week ahead as far as the moon goes. Now the sun just switched into Leo on the 23rd, and the moon, or pardon me, the sun goes from 1 to 7 degrees Leo this week, moves about a degree every day. And the moon has a conjunction with Mars at 7:57 p.m. on Wednesday, but that energy is kind of going all this week because the sun moves a degree every day and Mars moves about 1 or 2 degrees a day. So they're kind of following in the same path with each other, so give or take a degree or two, so they're really working together. And sun is about our ego, and it's about our will and our sense of self, whereas Mars is about our drives and our ability to get things done. So we can really, if there are goals that we're looking to push towards, it's a really good time to take action on those goals, to work towards our goals, to put energy into them. A lot of feisty energy. But there's also a tendency to maybe our buttons get pushed and we might be more aggressive than we need to be. So that's why it's really asking us to step back a bit and say, like, do I need, like, we're more likely to have knee-jerk reactions about things, and so we need to kind of step back and make sure we're being calm about things while the sun and Mars are conjunct in Leo. So I'm just going to find Sun and Leo here. See, Sun and Leo, it's about good fortune. It's all about luck and optimism and being happy and just going for it. And then Mars in Leo, where's our Mars here, is egotism. It says it's got the rooster here. And that's where we can get in trouble because sometimes our ego gets in the way of things. So yeah, so be careful of that this week. Mercury's pretty busy this week. Mercury changes signs into Virgo. So Mercury's in Leo right now, and then it's changing signs into Virgo. Mercury rules our communication, how we're communicating with others, short trips, that kind of thing. Mercury's going from 27 degrees Leo to 4 degrees of Virgo. Mercury goes into Virgo, I believe it's on Wednesday. Yeah, on Wednesday. And he has a trine with Uranus on Monday. So there's opportunities for us. We may learn some surprising things. We may receive some surprising communication through a letter or a phone call or an email that really surprises us, but in a good way, because trines are harmonious and Uranus is the planet of surprises. So surprises, trine, the planet of communication, mean we might get some surprising information, but it's good stuff and it's stuff that we can use. So watch for little surprises coming up on Monday. Mercury then moves into Virgo later in the week. So Mercury goes from, where are we here? Oh, where's my Mercury? Where's my Mercury in here? Up there. Okay, so Mercury goes from being all about drama to being more cautious. So we go from being very enthusiastic in our communications, very dramatic, to kind of stepping back a little bit, and in our communications being a little bit more thoughtful, a little more precise, but we also might be a little bit inhibited in some ways in our communications, so watch for that. Mercury then has a trine with Chiron on Tuesday as well, so there's opportunities for us to communicate some very healing things. So we might hear something that you know, makes us feel very healed, or we may say something to someone else that really helps them. So if you can communicate something to help somebody else, Tuesday is really good to do it. Then Venus, we have Venus at 21 to 28 degrees of Gemini this week. So Venus is in Gemini right now. I'm just going to find that card. Okay, here we go. Venus is all about flattery. Venus is about words. Venus is our romantic inclinations. Venus rules art. Venus rules beauty, and we want to talk about stuff. So we're flattered by words more easily. We also are more attracted to people who have an intellectual side. We want to talk about art. We want to talk about our feelings. So very, very chalky, chatty kind of energy. And she has an opposition to Saturn at 10:54 a.m. on Monday. And opposition is where a planet is opposite on the wheel of the zodiac, and it means that there are outside things that are coming up to confront us. So we are being challenged by the structures around us, because Saturn's all about structures, it's all about restrictions, it's all about making us work for things. So we might want to beautify something, whether it's our home or ourselves, but we're coming up against our responsibilities. So rather than spending money on that new dress or on some art for your wall, you might have to buy groceries instead, and you may not like that. So, or you might have a bill that suddenly comes in and you're like, oh no, I can't afford that, I need to go pay this bill. So we're being challenged by some of the structures around us, but it's asking us to be creative in how we go about, still getting our goals. So then we have Saturn has a sextile with Uranus at 3:04 a.m. on Sunday. So there's opportunity for us to maybe do something a little bit different when it comes to art or to beauty, maybe try a risk of some kind on Sunday. We also have a square to Chiron. So somebody might bring up some old issue, something to do with an old relationship, an old love may come up on Sundays that may make us feel a little uncomfortable and challenge us in the way that we think about ourselves in relation to our love life. So just watch for that. Mars is going from 2 to 6 degrees of Leo, and I'm just going to find him again in here. I try to keep him in order, but it doesn't always happen. So yeah, he's all about the ego. He's like this little rooster. He's the bravado, the machismo, and that comes out in some people when Mars is in Leo. So watch for people who are strutting their stuff and trying to be a big man. Don't be that yourself either, or a big woman, whatever. And he has a conjunction with Vesta on Monday. So we're using our energy. We can use that masculine energy in spiritual pursuits. So it's a good time if we're setting intentions, especially because we have the Leo new moon, to maybe put some of that masculine energy and drive into some of our ritual, to ask for that assistance in our ritual. It's also saying that we might want to put some energy into our home as well, some more masculine energy into our home. So then we don't have a lot of other aspects or anything going on with sort of the bigger planets. Jupiter's at 15 to 16 degrees of Libra, so not a lot of things going on with him. Saturn's 22 to 21 degrees retrograde in Sagittarius. Uranus 28 degrees of Aries, Neptune 13 degrees of Pisces retrograde, and Pluto's also retrograde at 17 degrees of Capricorn. So the big planets aren't making any big aspects, so there's not like huge things kind of going on. This week there's a lot of sort of more personal stuff going on in our lives. There's not these big changes in the outer world that are going to change things for ourselves. And then when I looked at the asteroids, they're not making any big aspects either. Ceres is at 5 to 8 degrees of Cancer, saying that we want to kind of nurture ourselves at home, do more things for our family. Athena's at 7 to 8 degrees of Taurus, so we're really thinking about how we can strategize around in the physical world, what we can do physically to change our environment. Juno's at 6 to 5 degrees of Capricorn in retrograde. So old issues may come up around household chores and things, or old issues about division of labor may come up with your partner. Vesta's at 2 to 5 degrees of Virgo. So she is, actually, yeah. So she's in Virgo, actually, rather than Leo. Interesting. Okay, so she's asking us to organize our spirituality on a day-to-day level. And then we have Chiron at 28 degrees retrograde in Pisces. So he's asking us to look at old issues that come up around spirituality and how we can heal ourselves. So that's what's going on astrologically. If you have any questions or you have any comments, please put below, like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.